Over! Every ounce of my focus is on my North American Championship and getting it back.
But Wes, at Heatwave, I will crush not only your body, but I will crush your final dream.
Sol Ruca will face Kalani Jordan for the Women's North American Championship.
I'm bringing the heat to Toronto and leaving as the NXT Women's North American Champion.
It's up to me to create the importance for this title. And at NXT Heatwave, Lonnie's gonna make it happen.
Like fire can't stop me now. Eyes on the sky, ears on the ground.
Big problem for you, Lola, is when you step inside the ring with me and I put my title on the line, you're in my world.
Roxanne, after I knock you out, you won't know what world you're in. I will become the NXT Women's Champion.
Page, Spears, Evans, Williams. These superstars clash in a massive fatal four-way matchup for the NXT Championship.
Baby, we are gonna start a fire.
Tonight,
I will reach the pinnacle.
This is crazy. Heatwave really about to get bouncy.
There's only room for one of us to be the guy. And that's all ego, baby. A fatal four-way match where anything can happen. But the only thing that will happen, I retain my NXT title.
Toronto, prepare for a scorcher tonight. It's time for NXT Heatwave.
And now, WWE presents NXT Heatwave.
It's been 5 long years since NXT has had a premium live event in the Great White North. Money in the Bank weekend ends in Toronto tonight as lives were changed last night. Careers will be changed in moments. We welcome you to NXT Heatwave, where all 5 NXT championships will be defended this evening. And earlier today, one of the 3 challengers in our main event, he arrived. That being the one and only Ethan Page. He was in his Canadian best. He looks to capture the NXT Championship in his hometown. And to be honest, truth be told, the odds are not in the favor of our champion, Trick Williams. So the question on everyone's mind is who will leave Heatwave with the NXT Championship?
Eyes on the sky, ears on the ground. And you know that they can't stop me now.
The following contest scheduled for one fall is for the NXT North American Championship. Introducing first, Wes Lee.
Look, I'm just going to come out and ask, was it wise of Wes to accept the stipulation that this is his only opportunity against Oba?
Big, you gotta understand, Oba Finley has the goal, so he makes all the rules. And if you want a shot, you gotta capitulate to his rules. His rules is you get one shot, man. One shot, and it's over. And when I say it's over, I mean it's over.
I got to admit, early on, you've already hit me with a Scrabble word. Yeah, I was pretty impressed by that. But for Wes Lee, he does not want to find himself like Seth Rollins, who cannot challenge Damian Priest for the world title as long as Priest is champion. It truly is all or nothing for Wes Lee, here to kick us off on NXT Heatwave.
And his opponent, he is the NXT North American Champion, Oba Femi.
How special is someone like the North American champion?
No doubt. Oba Femi, he's a generational talent big. I don't care if it was 1975, the present day, or 2050. This dude right here, he's a star, man, and he's the North American champion.
6'6", over 300 pounds. Wesley is giving up 130 pounds to our massive champion here tonight. Oba has been nothing short of an unstoppable machine, but there is no fear in the eyes of the challenger who looks to reclaim the North American title here tonight. And before this matchup gets officially underway, what is it going to take for Lee to win? Is Wes really the one to conquer the unconquerable?
Seriously?
Asking you.
A sledgehammer. I wonder if he got one of those in his tool bag, because he might need it.
He's going to have to pull out a lot of tricks. He's going to have to pull out all the stops here tonight for Wes Lee. Lee, an impressive 8-2 on premium live events. The catch there, though, Book, is Wesley has lost his last 2.
Well, you got to understand, Wesley is on a mission. Wesley lost that championship due to not anyone pinning his shoulders to the mat. That's got to be something that he thinks about on a regular basis.
That's something Trick Williams has to be thinking about tonight in our main event. Fatal 4-way does not need to be pinned, does not need to be factored in the decision to lose the NXT Championship. This is Oba Femi at his best, overpowering, manhandling the massive frame of Oba Femi. And look at Wes Lee, creating a little bit of separation, and now he's going to have to use that speed, going to have to use that quickness, going to the body, trying to crack a rib. But Oba Femi not phased. Oh!
It's unfortunate that this is a lightweight versus a super heavyweight, but that's just part of the business, something that this young man is going to have to overcome.
Swinging for the fences.
Oh, wow!
To no avail, and Lee was a tag team competitor. He was forced to break out on his own. He captured the North American title. He literally broke his back defending and elevating that championship. Big roundhouse.
Oh, got caught, see what I'm saying?
Springboard, boom, right to the back of the neck. But that's Wes Lee. That's how long he's been in the game. He didn't sweat it. He didn't crack. He stayed composed. He struck right back. But speaking of striking, bouncing back is Lee. And Lee this time gets caught. And there is that power on display by the massive Oba Femi.
That monster, man. You don't want to stay too close to the body of this big man right here, because he may be indestructible. He has that cloak of invincibility right now. So my thing is, man, this is going to be a fight tonight.
Let's take a look one more time. Bam, big right. Unbeaten in his NXT career, showing you why. But Wes Lee is showing you why he doesn't stay down, why he doesn't quit. And I hate to say it, but is Lee's heart too big for his own good?
It may be too big, but that's what makes Wes Lee, his heart, man. He is, what do you call him? The cardiac kid, right?
He is, yeah.
That's got something to do with the heart, right?
Holy!
Oh, man! Cardiac is appropriate.
A human being, a grown-ass man, just got tossed like a small child.
God, man. You got to understand.
Unbelievable.
The strength advantage, the size advantage is going to go to Oba Femi. And the thing is, this dude is still untapped. We don't know how far Oba Femi actually goes, Vic.
You can say that again, and it was Oba Femi who said tonight he will crush Lee's dreams, he will crush Lee's body. It's hard to argue also that there's not this aura around Oba Femi as well. We almost were introduced to Wes Lee.
This is your greatest North American champ. This is the greatest North American. Get it back here.
Oba Femi again. Just screaming at you, taking it to Wes. Holy! Come on, ref! the unexposed steel from underneath the ring. Lee's, did you see Lee's face? His nose just bounced off that steel. I mean, the referee might have to. I don't know how Wes Lee gets by. I mean, I am speechless right now. This was nasty. This was gnarly. What Obafemi is putting Wes Lee through in just the last, what would you take, 3 or 4 minutes, is unbelievable.
Obafemi said exactly what he was going to do, and now he's doing it, Vic. I mean, Wes Lee was a great champion, but he was a great champion.
Well, Obafemi didn't.
Oh, wow!
What you've been saying about Wes Lee being the greatest North American champion of all time, he stared right at you and big backbreaker. And you think about the injured back to Wes Lee. What sidelined Wes Lee for several months? Obafemi knows it. He's going to expose it, and he wants to hurt Wes Lee tonight.
Take nothing away from Wes Lee. I mean, he was a great champion, perhaps the greatest North American champion of all time. But all records are meant to be broken, Vic. All of them.
Obafemi said that his opponent, Wes Lee, is living in the past. Femi has been conquering NXT like he did track and field in the SEC at Alabama, as the NXT Universe here in the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto is trying to rally Wes Lee, but that's over 330 pounds, stepping right on that surgically repaired back.
No, that's adding insult to injury right now, Vic. That's what that is.
Look at Lee trying to fight. Look at Lee trying to get back to his feet. That didn't last very long, and Obafemi, instead of going for the pin, instead of ending this, he just wants to punish and beat the hell out of Wes Lee.
Just manhandling Wes Lee like a rag doll right now, just ripping him.
Lee just got folded in half off of one right hand.
Big
from
shot.
Oba.
Big shot by Obafemi. What are you talking about, one big shot? That was a huge shot, Vic.
The voice of WWE, Michael Cole, said he has been impressed with Obafemi, and unlike in our main event, there is, for the champion here tonight, in this matchup, Obafemi would have no one to blame but himself if he were to lose. But Obafemi right now is just saying light work. He's literally just throwing Wes Lee around like he's having fun.
Ripping him
like this is an appetizer.
Like a rag doll, Vic. This is easy work right here for Obafemi.
Feel an uneasy tension here in Toronto because it's getting hard to watch Wes Lee right now, who's trying his best, because he knows that at the end of the day, if he doesn't come through, if he's not victorious, he can never again challenge for the North American Championship as long as Obafemi is champion.
Can't count Wes Lee out. You better not count Wes Lee out. You better not sleep on Wes Lee, because he will pull something out.
I don't sleep on Wes Lee, but I'm going to ask you again, when you take a look at Obafemi, do you see a kink in the armor of the champion? I mean, Wes Lee can't even get thrown across the ring without his body giving out.
We've talked about becoming champion. You know, how having that championship make you about 30% better, having, like I say, that cloak of invincibility.
Oh, no, Booker, Wes
oh,
Lee's trapped.
Here we go.
Lee's trapped. He can't get his right leg out.
This is it.
And Femi measuring with Lee in his sights, and Lee just got out of the way. Or that would have been absolutely disastrous. And Lee now taking it to the champion.
Femi's head just bounced off the steel right there, Vic. I don't know if you heard that.
Get him over. Can he get Femi over? Lee trying, and Oba overmatching, overpowering, and goes over the top.
Oh, Wes Lee's going into his trick bag, Vic.
Oh!
God!
I hate to say it, but that bag just got slapped shut.
Like a fly swatter, man.
Listen to this, listen.
Where's it going?
And again, the official, but again, there's no quit in Wes Lee, who maybe has become overly obsessed with the North American Championship, which is something that the champion suggested on Tuesday. And this is just the start of NXT Heatwave. I don't really know how much is behind those punches. I mean, Booker, another backbreaker to Wes Lee. And Lee now just literally getting stretched.
I mean, you got to be impressed with Obafemi. I mean, the kid is pretty much new to the game, but his in-ring prowess is definitely second to none.
Wes Lee trying to hang on, trying to fight, trying to do anything he can to get back into this matchup because it has been one-sided except for a little bit of a flurry to start from Lee.
God, man.
Into the cover, will it finally be over? And Lee kicked out.
No, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I mean, it's time. Time is ticking, Vic.
What a way to kick off NXT Heatwave. NXT's North American Championship is on the line. The first of 5 championship matches here tonight to cap off Money in the Bank weekend in Toronto. But it's all on the line for Wes Lee. And you can see right now, his palms are sweaty, his knees, they're weak, his arms, they're heavy. You know he's been nervous all week long, but on the surface, Booker, he looks calm, he looks ready. But if you're Wes Lee right now, you gotta stop dropping bombs. You gotta start throwing rights because this might be your final moment.
You ain't lying, Vic.
Lee's got to get that second and third win right now. Lee, 2 kicks right under the jaw. The knee rocked Obafemi as well. Femi, for the first time tonight, is stunned. He's down to a knee, and here comes the rights. Here comes the lefts. Wes Lee's got to let it all out right now.
You talked about Wes Lee earlier, and you said one thing, Vic, is heart, Vic. The one thing about Wes Lee, he has the biggest heart, perhaps here in NXT, and like I say, is perhaps the greatest North American champion of all time, and he's got to prove it here tonight against this one man because he has what? One shot in it. Oh, yes, man.
He does. Tornado DDT into the cover to become a 2-time.
So close.
Femi for right now. Femi is in a position he has not found himself in very often. Wes Lee, though, has been in this position, that deep water, Booker, that you always talk about.
We've never seen Wes Lee have to dig this deep, Vic. This is a little different in my estimations.
And Lee charging right out. A little bit of a dive with a forearm. Lee trying to do it all. What'd you say he had to do earlier, going to his bag of tricks?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. He got to get that sledgehammer. Oh, here we go.
He's using his body as a human sledgehammer, as a battering ram of sorts. And I don't like the look in Wes Lee's eyes. Lee getting Femi back into the ring. The only place Lee can win the championship inside the squared circle. Lee looking to fly. The Meteor got caught. Countered. Femi overpowering Lee. And now Lee this time able to counter.
Wow.
Oh.
This kid is unbelievable.
Both superstars shining bright here on this Sunday premium live event.
Huge appreciation from the crowd here. Hell of a matchup here, Vic.
Femi got caught one more time. And Wes Lee now is starting to get a little bit of momentum. Wes Lee right now is not taking his eyes off Obafemi. Wes Lee is blocking out the pain, and this time to the back. Meteora connects.
Gonna have to land another big shot.
He knows it, though.
Maybe another after that.
Lee knows it, and Lee now feeling the effects of all those backbreakers, of that surgically repaired back, but he's blocking it out. Damn the pain, but what an uppercut!
Every time.
Oh my, he's out!
Whoa!
I don't know how Wes Lee was able to kick out. Look at his body just buckle over quickly into that count and just getting that left shoulder up.
Femi capitalized off that just a loose slight buckle from Wes Lee on that top rope.
Going through the mind right now. Obafemi.
Look at Obafemi. He still looks so fresh, Vic. He still looks like he can go all night long in this ring, man.
This man is an absolute monster. And now what the hell's Femi thinking?
Oh, what are you thinking?
We've seen Obafemi throw Wes Lee. We've seen him try to toss him. Lee trying to fight back. Both superstars up high. It's that big risk. Lee got caught. Powerbomb didn't connect.
Wow.
Lee was able to reverse it, countered in some sort of X factor. Now picking up some momentum. Cardiac kick from the Cardiac King.
Gotta be kidding.
To do it for the second time.
What?
Pow.
I thought that was champagne wishes and caviar dreams. I thought it was over, man.
I don't necessarily know if he got all the cardiac kick that he wanted, but what I do know is Lee is putting his heart on the line. And now he's putting it all on the line, Book.
Up top, he's in his wheelhouse.
Lee,
oh, yes. Whoa.
Holy crap, he did it.
What the?
Nice counter again by Wesley. Femi charging in. Both superstars up and over.
Oh, no, Wesley escaped that for a second.
Well, you better watch yourself right now. Oba getting dangerously close. Wesley, I've seen that look in his eye. Lee again just gets caught. Oh!
God, man. Devastating shoulder breaker.
And Obafemi has had a counter for everything, and it's been because of pure, unbridled power. I'm at a loss for Wesley right now because this man just keeps coming and coming and coming and coming. He won't stop. Double stop to the spine. But look at Obafemi. Same can be said for the champion.
You know, Wesley is fighting like...
Get him again, Wes! Get him again!
It's just one shot.
Cardiac!
Oh, no. I think his back may have gave way a little bit.
Well, if it didn't then, he's got to stay in it now, right to the body. This is that moment we talked about, Booker, for Wes Lee, swinging for the fences. Looking for that cardiac kick for the second time. Got caught one more time, and then again, just gets obliterated.
Man.
I don't know how Obafemi still has this sort of strength in his body.
Look like he's liking this, Vic. Look like he's loving this. Oh!
And for Femi, he just crushed the spirit and the soul of Wes Lee.
Here is your winner and still the NXT North American Champion, Obafemi.
The champion knows that he was in for a fight tonight. Obafemi and Wes Lee brought their A game here. What a way to kick off NXT Heatwave tonight. Back to some of the action. This was the best opportunity for Wes Lee. That cardiac kick connected. I don't necessarily know if he got 100% of it, if it was flush, but right here we both thought that Wesley hit that big splash, but somehow the monster that is our North American champion was able to catch Lee and then would catch him one more time, and bam, that Papa Shango-esque shoulder breaker right here in front of us, and for the second time, just tossing another human being like a shot put at Alabama, not to be outdone with that fall from grace powerbomb, and Obafemi would retain. And there's two things that I want to bring up in this moment. First, what is next for Wes Lee? And who, if anyone, can conquer Obafemi?
I am champion. This life, I'm defender. This life.
And she is, of course, very confident, but this week we saw her be very emotional as she heads into tonight's championship showdown against our NXT Women's Champion, The Prodigy, who doesn't care about Lola's story or journey. She wants to prove once again that no one is on her level. On the topic of championships, from the women's title to the women's North American Championship, who will stand out here tonight? Will it be the champion, Kelani Jordan, or will it be the challenger, Sol Ruca?
So close, but still yet so far away. You gotta do it.
All my life, I wanted my name in record books. But to be written on those pages, I had to work like a champion.
She did it! Kelani Jordan has made history as the first women's North American champion.
All I know is structure.
From Boynton Beach, Florida,
a one-track mind, but
Kelani Jordan.
It's produced results. 5-time Junior Olympic national qualifier, 2nd overall in the nation on floor, full ride scholarship to Michigan State University, 3-time MVP, 3-time team captain, nominee for NCAA Athlete of the Year, and now, the first ever women's North American champion. Pressure comes with being a champion, especially being the first.
It's up to me to create the importance for this title.
But no one is going to defend this title like Lonnie. Being a gymnast, no accolade could be taken away from me, but this title can be. Sol Ruca has everything to be a champion. She's an unparalleled athlete who deserves this match. But like Michael Jordan says, some people want it to happen, some wish it would happen, and others make it happen. And at NXT Heatwave, Lonnie's gonna make it happen.
Growing up, I was never one to play by the rules. And in gymnastics, there are a lot of those. Instead, I taught myself almost everything I know with my own beam, mat, and bars. I went to the beach and the park, and I taught myself through trial and error. I jumped into competing in acrobatics and tumbling and accepted a scholarship to the University of Oregon, where I was a multi-acrobatic event national champion. Fast forward to today, my thirst for adrenaline and ability to adapt quickly landed me in my new home right here in NXT. I was in my element at that ladder match in Battleground.
Oh! Sol Snatcher!
Oh!
But I'm not afraid to admit, I came up short to the better woman that night.
Jordan has made history! Unbelievable!
Like LeBron James says, you can't be afraid to fail. It's the only way you succeed. While everyone else might talk the talk for what they think is their opportunity, I simply focus on walking the walk and snatching a few souls on the way. Make no mistake, I am bringing the heat to Toronto and leaving as the NXT Women's North American Champion.
The following contest scheduled for one fall is for the NXT Women's North American Championship. Introducing first, Sol Ruca.
After what we just witnessed in the opening contest here tonight and what we're about to witness here in moments and throughout the entire evening, I feel funny asking you this, but do you agree that this match has all the makings to steal the show based on the athleticism of these two women that are about to show up and show out?
No doubt, no doubt. I think the world is about to see something special. Two of the brightest stars here in NXT, and both of them, Ruca and Jordan, cut from the same cloth, Vic.
she is the NXT Women's North American Champion, Kelani Jordan!
Is the champion putting too much pressure on herself? And I bring that up to Booker because after winning that title in a ladder match in Vegas at Battleground, she said that the prestige of the Women's North American Championship starts with her.
You know, they always say you're not champion until you defend at least one. Her first defense against Mi Chin. What a competitor. And she went out there and did the damn thing. Tonight, she's got Sol Ruca. Oh, who you got your money on, man? Huh? Who you got your money on, Vic?
It's tough, and I'm not going to go out there and make any sort of outlandish cases for myself for who would win this matchup, or what would you call it? A prediction. That again is what you are. That is why you
prognostication.
That's
prognostication.
That's two Scrabble words you've hit. It's all about the NXT Women's North American Championship, and the champion less than 2 years in the ring. And to be honest, both these women have adapted their athleticism to the ring with absolute ease.
You know, I really believe Sol Ruca could be in the same place as Kelani Jordan if it wasn't for that setback that left knee injury. But I tell you, she could right all wrongs here tonight in old Canada, man.
Well, speaking of tonight, NXT Heatwave trending #1, and for good reason after the opening matchup. Carrying into this matchup, and again, all 5 NXT championships on the line here tonight in Sol Ruca. And this is that athleticism, this is that athletic background that both of these two women have.
Wow. Cut from the same cloth. You're going to see a whole lot of action here in this match here tonight.
You know, starting this fall, Ruca and Jordan will be Big Ten rivals of sorts. Ruca attended Oregon, Kelani, Michigan State. There's a lot of competitive spirit between these two women who are friends on the outside, and they're bringing that friendly competition here tonight to Toronto.
You got to really say a whole lot about Kelani Jordan when to put the title, want to compete at the highest level. And the thing is, you got to test yourself. You got to know exactly how good you really are. We're going to find out tonight. Whoa, beautiful.
And nice! High cross body came up a little bit short, but still was able to take Ruca down. And Kelani Jordan trying to take full advantage, but Ruca able to get out of the way. And a little bit of a standoff for just one moment. And again, a stalemate here in this matchup.
Oh, yeah, I love it, man.
First time ever the Women's North American Championship will be defended at a premium live event. And these two competed against each other twice, but they've never competed against each other one-on-one.
You know, I don't think that's going to, help or hurt. I don't think they saw this coming, especially this soon, as well as for the North American Championship.
That's a good point. And Jordan, nice splits, coming right back up, looking for the hip toss. Ruca able to land on her feet. She tries to come back in. X Factor was countered with a unique splash, a quick kick out at 1. And take a look at what we're seeing here tonight between these two. Round and round you go. Kelani gets pulled right back in. Hip toss, this time she counters into a backslide, shoulders down, and a near fall.
You can tell the champ has been looking forward to this moment here tonight.
Second time she X Factor found it. Spot will it bring the title around the waist of Ruca, and a kick out by Kelani.
Caught slipping right there for a second.
Take another look at how impressive both these women are, and just some of the action throughout this matchup. And Kelani Jordan has welcomed the pressure with being the first champion. But take a look at Sol Ruca right now. We talk about the athleticism in this background, everything they've done in college. You got to learn what it takes to get inside the squared circle, and both these women have learned very fast. And to prove that point, take a look at what Sol Ruca's doing right now to Kelani Jordan.
I mean, Sol Ruca just had Kelani Jordan wrapped up like a pretzel, but it wasn't for a tap out or anything like that. She's just trying to.
She's looking for the tap out here.
Oh, surfboard, surfboard.
We know Sol Ruca's at home on a surfboard, and now she's looking for the submission. If Jordan quits, we're going to crown a new champion here tonight. Referee is in great position, and nasty landing for Jordan. I think Sol Ruca realized she wasn't going to get the submission, so why continue? She wants to just punish. She's also here, Booker. We talk about how great friends they are and that they train together. They want to win. They want to be champion.
It's all about the championship, Vic. Sol Ruca wants that championship just as bad as Kelani Jordan wants to hold on to it.
Ruka became the #1 contender, defeating Ariana Grace, who we saw win alongside Carmen Petrovic.
Oh, there it is.
To Heatwave earlier tonight, and now it's Kalani Jordan coming right back into this matchup and takedown with a Hurricane Rana of Sol Ruca. You know, I keep coming back to it. I've said it before. Is Jordan looking to take a big risk all the way to the outside? And these women are not afraid to take these sort of risks. And you can see the NXT Universe rising to their feet. But again, Booker, you got 2 Hall of Fame rings. You've seen it all in 3 decades of experience. You've won the titles. Have you ever seen 2, forget men or women, have you ever seen 2 superstars, 2 competitors take to the ring as fast as they have?
No, like you just said it, take to it this fast.
Into the cover to retain this time center of the ring, as you were saying.
The 2 are so young in the game, Vic, but like I say, the experience factor, you can tell they've been steady, especially Kalani Jordan. She stepped her game up here tonight, Vic.
Dragging over Sol Ruca, and this is maybe that patented split-legged.
Whoa.
Oh!
Ran into that one right there.
They coming right back. Sol Ruca from the bottom rope this time, springboard again. From the middle rope this time, catching Kalani.
You can tell Kalani Jordan trying to stay in the middle of that square circle, trying to stay away from those ropes, Vic.
Kalani, I just looked up from the monitor, just looking around for anything to grab onto to pull herself back to her feet. Is a deep breath from Sol.
Whoa!
What the hell do you call that? Whatever it was effective, and it almost brought a title to Sol Ruca. Almost putting the Women's North American Championship around her waist. Take a look again. I mean, what are we seeing between these two? We said it could steal the show.
But that's what I'm talking about. Sol Ruca just a year in the game, and she's so experienced. I mean, her knowledge is so vast for somebody just a year in the game.
Same can be said for Kalani, who's fighting right back. And in a short time, you've seen why. We talk about NXT. The future is bright. The future is here, and these 2 are showcasing why. The best women's division in all of wrestling is on Tuesday nights on NXT. And Kalani Jordan now can't look at the eyes of Sol Ruca and see a friend. She's got to look in the eyes of Sol Ruca and see a competitor, someone who's trying to take her title.
Oh, you're talking about the eyes. Look at the eyes of Kalani Jordan right now. She's feeling
Kalani,
it. Oh!
Poison!
Wow.
Poison Rana! And the NXT Universe showing their love for these 2. What is Jordan thinking? Moonsault to the outside. When we talk about the NXT having such a rich history here in Canada, well, it is continuing here tonight, and it's continuing right now. Jordan feeling the effects, and you can hear the official starting his count as the NXT Universe here in Toronto, capping off Money in the Bank weekend. NXT Women's North American Championship is on the line. The referee continuing his count as Kalani Jordan got back in the ring, and you got to think right now for Kalani Jordan, she doesn't want to win with a count out. She wants to win inside the squared circle.
That wasn't a
she
good
wants
move.
to earn
that
this championship defense.
That wasn't a smart move right there. You win by any means necessary. You don't think like that when you're champion, Vic. Come on, man.
Booker, to your point, this could come back to hurt Kalani. Right now, as Sol Ruca has turned this matchup around. What's Ruca thinking? Sol answered right back. I thought I was at a loss for words after the opening contest. Referee is at 5. Both women just starting to move. And as we mentioned a second ago, both these women don't want this match to end this way.
This match could be over with right now. This match could be over right now. I don't know what Kalani...
Referee's at 8.
Come on, I don't know what Kalani Jordan was thinking.
Referee's about to be at 9. The referee almost at 10. And both women just breaking the count, and this is gonna continue.
These are growing pains right here for Kalani Jordan. She's gonna learn in the long run. You don't do things like that.
You know, you could say that, but also for Kalani Jordan, maybe she's a little bit ahead of her time right now. Maybe she's into the future. Maybe she's thinking 2 steps ahead, rolling through in a near fall. Maybe she's trying to silence the doubters like you into another cover. Shoulders down, Ruka with a counter. Nice counter into a cover and another kick out. And now both women trying to jockey for position. Shoulders down for a half second.
Oh!
Powering Kalani, who shifts her weight into another cover. Shoulders down and a kick out. I can't even keep up with all this, Book.
No. Right now, Kalani Jordan, she can't keep up with it either. Oh! That's it! Good. Whoa!
No. Sol Ruka showcasing that power, able to counter some of that athleticism. And Ruka, look, she doesn't get caught up in locker room gossip. She won't waste her energy. We've seen her walk out of arguments. She is focused on this matchup, focused on this moment as the NXT Universe again rallying these two women. Because Booker, it's hard to argue with them. And is Sol Ruka looking for a half and half from the top rope?
No, Ruka got the right idea, Vic, by any means necessary.
Oh, wait, Ruka's down. Look where Kalani's at. Kalani's at home, up top. Trying to block out that pain. Oh, and Ruka just got the knees up at the last moment. What a matchup here tonight for the NXT Women's North American Championship. Sol Ruka.
Oh!
Look at that, Sol snatch! It was Sol who got snatched. Rolling over into the cover and a kick out. Again, both these women, 12 months in the game. Kalani Jordan has been in the main event spotlight, has become the first ever champion of the Women's North American title. Sol Ruka, as you mentioned earlier, fought her way back to this position, earned the #1 contendership, and these two are bringing it here tonight. Back up on the shoulders goes the champion, the challenger, being able to block for a second. Kalani was looking for that poison Rana. Sol Ruka said, and a reverse Alabama slam in Toronto into the top turnbuckle. No way. No way. Kalani better figure something out, and she better figure something out quick. These two teetering. Oh my God! A poison Rana! From up top. This is what you gotta do.
Capitalize. Capitalize.
Of a kind from Kalani Jordan. And Kalani stands up, and stands tall.
Here's her winner, and still the NXT Women's North American Champion, Kalani Jordan.
Toronto coming to their feet for these two women. Unbelievable. We said they were not afraid to take any sort of risks. Kalani Jordan pulled it out tonight. Take nothing away from Sol Ruka. She brought it as well. I'm not the general manager, but if they want to go for round 2, Book, sign me up.
What a night. What a fight. The ladies showed up and showed out, Vic.
What a sign of sportsmanship between these two, as Jordan once again shows that no one can do it like Lonnie.
Tyson, Tyreek, we've seen what you said in social media.
Do you know what I can't go about this new generation? The lack of respect they've got for those that came before them.
Lads, I've been doing this since you two were 4 years old.
Yeah, it doesn't matter about how many YouTube subscribers you've got and see all this trying to be a social media influencer. What matters is what you do in the ring.
Nobody cares how high you can jump. Nobody cares how far you can throw. What counts is the experience between those ropes, and we are miles ahead of you.
See all those athletic accolades? They meant nothing when Wolfie slammed you into the steps. See all the clout you have in all your platforms? Nothing when Mark wrapped a steel chair round your back. And I haven't forgotten what you've done to me. We'll see you Tuesday.
Well, Booker, earlier tonight on our countdown to Heatwave, we had a big tag team matchup with our Canadian duo, that being Carmen Petrovic and Ariana Grace taking on Jasmine Nixon and Jacy Jayne. And well, right there you saw turnabout fair play for the Canadian duo, who came home and picked up a big victory earlier tonight.
Carmen, Ariana, congrats on the win tonight. Look, I didn't know if this pairing was going to work, but you guys make a pretty good tag team.
Thank you, Ava. I'm so glad it worked out. Could you imagine poor Carmen out there by herself? The results would have been catastrophic. But thankfully, I was there to give the people of Toronto what they needed.
What? Ariana, I got the pin. I mean, we're a team. We win together.
Sweetheart, use your eyes. I believe I was the real MVP tonight. And unfortunately for you, this is the last time we're gonna be tagging together. I can't have such an anchor holding me down.
Oh, you want to know who the better one of us is? I think I know the answer to that.
Well, I don't, and I think it's a good idea. So how about on Tuesday, Carmen versus Ariana, and you guys can figure out who the better one is.
I like that.
Great. It is so wrong for you to pit two tag team partners against each other. It's sickening.
That's quite the decision, and we'll find out on Tuesday when we see that matchup. But there's a lot on the challenger's mind. Will she make that dream phone call to her mom tonight, saying that she has become the NXT Women's Champion? But another superstar looking to win gold, Toronto's own Ethan Page. 75% chance that we crown a new NXT champion in our main event tonight at NXT Heatwave.
The following contest scheduled for one fall is for the NXT Tag Team Championship! Introducing first, accompanied to the ring by Riley Osborne and Thea Hale, representing Chase University, Duke Hudson and Andre Chase!
This could be a monumental moment for Chase U and their students here tonight.
We're gonna find out. You know, I like this kid, Riley Osborne.
Whoa, wait.
He's a real stand-up.
You don't like him, you like him. Oh, you like Riley Osborne.
Riley Osborne, that's what I said.
Since when?
I just said it, didn't I?
Yeah, but you didn't say that 2 weeks ago, you didn't like him.
Why did I gotta say it 2 weeks ago? I'm saying it now.
Why can't you stop riding the fence?
I like Riley Osborne. He's a stand-up dude. Stand-up dude, I like him.
Well, Riley has been waving the flag, no pun intended.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
What?
Can you hear me?
What?
Can you hear me?
What? Riley has been waving the flag when it comes to Ridge Holland, who you can see is not here.
The red flag.
Tonight.
Never slow down.
And their opponent, they are the NXT Tag Team Champions, Axiom and Nathan Frazier.
All right, but let's talk about red flags. Are the champions ready? Are they prepared? Because Frazier's focus has been elsewhere. Book, he arrived to the building late 2 hours ago. Axiom was preparing to defend these titles solo, by himself.
Yeah.
No partner.
Yeah.
Handicap match.
Yeah.
Odds stacked against him. So you see a red flag there.
Axiom has that, there's no I in team, but Nathan Frazier seemed like he wants more, man. This team is totally not focused at the task at hand. We could have the tag team champions here tonight.
Might not be an I in team, but there certainly is an ME. You told me that one time.
Yeah, it is.
NXT Tag Team titles about to be defended. We saw new WWE Tag Team Champions crowned here in Toronto Friday on SmackDown. Pair of NXT pillars, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa. Lightning struck twice in Toronto for DIY. I don't know if you heard what Riley said when he came over. He said he's feeling this one. He feels confident in Chase U. This is the first time ever the NXT Tag Team titles have been defended at Heatwave. You got to go back 1999 in ECW, the last time tag titles were changed hands at an event called Heatwave. But much like in our main event, do you consider the champions the underdogs in this matchup?
Nathan Frazer and Axiom, they're always going to be underdogs. They're going to come in undersized, but I'm going to tell you right now, these guys have knowledge of that squared circle like no other. Trust me, man. Trust me.
That's hard to argue. And take a look at the champions. They have defeated AOP. They've defeated the OC. They've defeated the D'Angelo family. Yes. So they have been tested since winning those tag team titles. Another nice counter. This goes to what you were just actually pointing out when it comes to Axiom, a student of the game. He knows the ins and the outs of just about everything he can get tied up into. Trying to counter, but Chase, nice job rolling through. And a quick cover one more time. It's Chase who goes down, covering out. And Axiom back to his feet, down quickly, rolls back out in his own right, able to nip right up, and we got a standoff.
Axiom, like I say, he knows every inch of that 20 by 20, but you can't do it by yourself when you're in a tag team. He's going to need Frazer to watch his back at all points in this match. Oh, man.
Still trending #1 NXT Heatwave. We are capping off Money in the Bank weekend here in Toronto, and it's all about the NXT Tag Team titles right now. Nice drop kick from Axiom.
Beautiful.
Into the cover, another kick out. The only meeting between these two teams, it was the challengers who were victorious. That's something that I'm sure the champions have in the back of their mind.
I mean,
another counter, another step through, another pinning predicament. Counter, though, by Chase. Axiom trying to roll in. The weight shifted by Andre Chase. Almost brought Chase to the titles for a second time.
Vic, wouldn't you want to put an asterisk by that win? Right?
I don't even remember that.
You would want to put an asterisk by that win, right?
Oh, well, a win is a win, Brooke. As a Browns fan, if they win, I don't care how the hell they do it. A win is a victory on a Sunday, a Monday, or Thursday.
The Browns ain't winning.
We ain't going to talk about that, but we are excited to get to Cleveland, Ohio for SummerSlam, Cleveland Browns Stadium in just a few weeks. But here in Toronto, Chase U looking on, and they could bring the tag team titles back to campus. But, you know, you want to talk about the champions. Wouldn't you be annoyed if you were Axiom? Frazier's been competing on WWE Speed. He's also challenged Tony D'Angelo for the Heritage Cup, as Frazier is a legal competitor right now.
You know, I don't really know if annoyed is the right word. Ticked off. Ticked off.
Not the same thing. You would be then.
Yes,
so you understand why Axiom would be frustrated as Frazier trying to quicken the pace, which is something he does so well. But there's your guy, the MVP of Chase U.
Yes, he should be the president as far as I'm concerned. Look at the big man. Look at the big man go.
Big man.
Oh, yes.
To belly overhead toss.
What are students?
They're all over the place, Book. They travel very well. And thinking of traveling, look how far Nathan Frazer went, and it just gets dropped. And we got two right here in front of us, Thea Hale, Riley Osborne. They are up in arms. They are fired up.
And we still wonder if Nathan Frazer's fully focused on the task at hand here tonight.
Again, he arrived late. Axiom thought he was going to have a 2-on-1 match, a handicap match to defend these titles. He was worried. Frazer showed up. Frazer has said time and time again, nothing to worry about. There's a lot to worry about right now if you're the champ. Cover, count, and a kick out.
And I always said, Vic, preparation, man. Preparation is the only luck you're going to have in this business.
What would you have done if Stevie Ray was late?
I fired his ass.
Would he work for you? Under Harvey, was he on your payroll? I thought he was your tag team partner. I'll let you think about that one as the tag was made and Axiom is legal. Frazier, these two now clubbing, chop, DDT, chases Rock, Axiom into the cover, titles on the line, and the champions were a half second away from retaining.
Working like a well-oiled machine right there. I don't think the bad blood is coming into play right now. They're looking pretty good, Vic.
Axiom using his head literally right there in this moment. And take a look at what we've talked about all night long. All 5 championships being defended. What a night this has been thus far for NXT. And Axiom rolling right back. Whoa! What a clothesline from Axiom. Andre Chase may think he's teaching class again, but somehow got his right shoulder up.
That
Holy
clothesline
crap.
was to the, I don't know, back of the neck. That was almost illegal there. What do you think?
Let's take another look at it right here.
Check the shot out. That was an illegal shot.
So you're rooting for Chase U?
No, I'm not.
I'm calling it as it is.
I'm just calling it. Just tell it like it is.
Don't get hot. What are you getting upset about?
Not hot.
I mean, you got to think it's illegal in boxing, right? We're in the squared circle, his professional wrestling book. Oh, what a kick.
I'll give you that.
Half and half. Frazier's legal. Double super kicks under the jaw, into the cover, and a kick out. Near fall, and Nathan Frazier looking at the official. I don't think he agrees.
Check that shot out. Is that not an illegal shot?
It's not boxing.
Is that not an illegal shot?
It's not. That's like saying that's illegal. It's not. It's all fair. The title's around the line. You got to do what you got to do.
I get it. Vic, by any means necessary. I'm on that side, okay? But that right there was blatant.
NXT Tag Team titles on the line in this moment as the champions who are in control here at NXT Heatwave. It was Nathan Frazier who arrived late tonight. Axiom probably behind that mask breathing a sigh of relief about 90 minutes ago. Because about 2 hours ago, this was going to be a handicap match. And Nathan Frazier is here. He is focused. And he right now just got dropped. And what will the side effects be here in this matchup? Chase almost into a cover right now. And Chase, Frazier might have realized and started scooting away as Chase now trying to get to the cover. And the #1 contenders who are able to win tag team turmoil are closing it. Oh, on a tag, and Axiom able to close the door. When we talk about that tag team turmoil, it caused a little bit of turmoil inside the campus of Chase U. As a nice submission here applied by Axiom for a half second. Axiom back up, looking for another submission. Third trying to snatch the arm. He's doing his best right now to hold on, shifts his weight, shoulders down. Axiom had to relinquish the hold.
Chase right now is right now he's trying to hold his own, but he's still a step behind. Still a big step behind.
I hear what you're saying, but if you're Andre Chase, you're also thinking about the last time Chase U had the tag team titles. The reign lasted just 21 days. Chase felt that the team didn't reach its potential, and they may not be able to reach their potential again. As another counter, another submission, and look at Axiom.
Yeah, Andre Chase, as well as Chase U, they have a chance to be redeemed here tonight against the tag team champions, who has not been on the same page, but right now, they're looking real good, Vic.
And wise of Axiom to try to drag Andre Chase back to the corner. And Chase, I don't even think he realized he just sent Axiom into his own corner. Tag was made. Frazier's legal and Duke's legal. And Chase U turning things around. Just like their fortune has turned around recently, thanks to Andre Chase's leadership. But tonight the titles could be coming back because of Duke Hudson. And Chase U is rolling. And we talked about it earlier. You can see Rich Holland is not here at Heatwave. He was told by Andre Chase to stay back. Chase U, though, really hasn't lost a step. Axiom got planted. Frazier saw it. He wanted some too. Same results.
Oh, look at the big man. The big man is rolling downhill like a snowball. He's getting bigger. Oh, yeah.
Senton Gutbuster combo. Will it bring the titles back to Chase U and a kick out?
Stay on the gas, man. Stay on the gas. Don't think about it, big man.
I don't wonder what Rich Holland is thinking right now, back at home watching exclusively on Peacock. But take a look. Duke Hudson, that's why you say he should be the what? The president?
The president.
Everything else. He right now is really changing the complexion of this matchup. But Nathan Frazier, using his speed, the man who moves like a blur, who strikes like a cobra. His mind is thinking.
He's thinking about it. Here we go. No.
He might have thought about it just a little bit too long. Is now Duke Hudson. Big German suplex that turned Frazier inside out.
What a German suplex by Duke.
But now is Duke taking too much time, Book?
Duke ready to take it to the pay window, man. Here we go. Here we go.
Looking to become two-time NXT Tag Team Champions, and Frazier countered at the last possible moment.
What a move.
And Axiom's legal. Axiom to the top. Hurricane Rana taking down Hudson. Hudson right here in front of us. Oh, Andre Chase from Frazier. Duke wiped out by Axiom. No rest for the champs. Everybody wiped out, but what sort of effects to Axiom? I know you couldn't see it because you were spun around. Axiom started shaking some things back into his hands.
Where are we, Vic?
Frog Splash connects. Champs now moving quickly. Frazier's legal. Is this gonna be enough? Oh, man. Oh, Thea Hale thought she just got expelled. Riley Osborne beside himself.
Nathan Frazier looked perplexed right now. Can't do that. Oh.
Well, wouldn't you? After what just happened to Duke Hudson, laying it on the line.
That should have been
body and soul. Oh, Axiom got caught. I believe a tag was made. I think Frazier is the legal superstar. Frazier is able to tag the back of Axiom's leg, and now they were able to counter through, roll through the Uranage.
Beautiful counter.
Frazier created a little bit of that separation. Looking around, I can't find Andre Chase anywhere. Duke Hudson is staggering.
Gotta give Nathan Frazier a lot of credit. Oh, he got caught.
Looking for a little satisfaction. And if he wants some satisfaction, he's got to put Frazier away. Big offense, high impact for the titles. Oh. Chase right here in front of us, beside himself. What a tag team contest.
Nathan Frazier kicked out of the last second. They're a little more prepared than we thought he was, Vic.
Say that again. And lightning strike twice for Chase U. Andre Chase finally back into this matchup, back into this fight. Tag was made, Hudson's legal. A lot has been taken out of all four of these competitors. And now Duke Hudson, man, his size doesn't leave his feet very often.
Yeah, but he's left to do it all by himself. Here again, Vic. Where's Andre Chase? Where is he, Vic?
Springboard, missile drop kick right into the chest of the MVP. Axiom made the tag. Champions now, as you pointed out, got together a little late here today, but they are certainly on the same page right now.
Like two wild
watch out,
dogs.
referee. Guess what, Andre Chase? I don't know where Andre Chase is. Duke Hudson just shoved Frazier off. Chase is left somewhere lying. Hudson's left by himself.
Made,
and we've seen this before from the champions. Axiom looking for Phoenix Splash.
You gotta be kidding me. Wow.
Excuse me, the Spanish fly into the Phoenix Splash. Chase able to break it with a Canadian driver.
What the hell was that? Wow.
We knew the playbook from the champions because we've seen it. We've sat here and watched them win match after match.
What was that, Vic?
But that was Andre Chase knowing the same playbook that we did. He wasn't just laying out like you thought. He was waiting because he had it scouted.
Was he playing possum?
What was going to happen?
Was he playing possum?
Chase U now can do it. Titles are on the line. And Andre Chase made the tag. Axiom is back in. These four are gonna have to lay it out. They're gonna have to leave it all right here, right now. Andre Chase, who's the one who has turned the fortune around for Chase University, is the one who had everything scouted, has been going to class, has been taking his team to school for this moment, has been preparing them to become two-time champions. Can he dig deep tonight?
Who wants it most? Who wants it most, Vic?
Well, Frazier just bailed out his partner for a half second for a moment, but there again is Andre Chase, staying one step ahead of the champions. And again.
Here it is. It's coming into play, Vic. We're talking about not being on the same page. That could be it.
Unbelievable. Andre Chase could have everything he wants scouted, but you don't know the heart of someone.
Vic, Bucks Axiom just saved the tag team championships. But now.
Yeah, Andre Chase, Russian leg sweep, and now he's looking for all the proud members. Yes, where the students were booked, they're all around us here in Toronto, and they're trying to rally the challengers. Chase, high cross body, got all of it. Frazier just able to save the titles, and well, he wasn't here earlier. He was certainly on time right there.
Yes, you gotta always rely on your partner, and I'm gonna tell you right now, Nathan Frazier was there in the nick of time.
Double underhook, able to
tag.
Floating over. Frazier's legal. Frazier flying in, Chase able to run right underneath. Frazier able to roll through, and Andre Chase, now can you say something nice? He has been bringing it out. He's the MVP right now in this match.
Andre Chase has been holding his own tonight, but tag team champions are working together right now. Here we go. Right on the ear, man.
Watch out! Hudson's wiped out. On the combination offense. Axiom measuring Chase for the golden ratio.
Got all of it.
And the golden ratio into the cover keeps the gold with the champions.
Wow.
Here are your winners, and still the NXT Tag Team Champions, Nathan Frazier and Axiom.
Well, now some may be questioning Andre Chase's decision about Ridge Holland, who is not here tonight. But what an absolutely amazing tag team matchup. First it was Axiom, who hit that Spanish fly, followed up by the Phoenix Splash from Nathan Frazier. We've seen it time and time again work out for this duo. It didn't work out tonight because Andre Chase, the teacher himself, knew exactly what was happening. And for a good portion of this matchup, he was able to stay one step ahead of the champions. Numerous occasions, it was so close to Chase U becoming two-time tag team champions, but it was the champions, bam, who were able to pull it together when they needed to do it the most. It was Frazier who wiped out Duke Hudson, and then the golden moment, bam, golden ratio under the jaw for the NXT Tag Team Champions to retain their titles here in Toronto. And while the champions did make it tougher on themselves than it needed to be, I'm sure they're going to have a lot to discuss on their flight home.
Wesley, can I please get a word?
For what? I lost. Plain and simple. This night was supposed to be me regaining my North American Championship. I failed. Like, I traveled the world. I made the best friends, won tag team gold, and even had one of the best singles runs of all time. And tonight was supposed to culminate with me regaining my crown as the king of the West Side, holding my North American Championship. And I failed. Obafemi was a better man tonight. Period, point blank. I'm at a loss for words. Look, I'm sorry. I need some time to figure out what's next. Look, I'll see you all on Tuesday.
Booker, it's one of your favorite events, and I know why. your record at the Great American
Oh,
Bash.
7-1,
How did you forget
baby.
about that?
7-1.
Well, nonetheless, the Great American Bash coming to you the Tuesday after SummerSlam. It is August 6th on Sci-Fi, but a good question to ask ourselves, who will be the NXT champion when we get to the Great American Bash on Sci-Fi? Because there you see one of the challengers tonight. He's a 20-year-old sensation, Javon Evans, ready to main event his first premium live event ever. You know the nerves right now. They're going up and they're going down, but there is someone who is even keel, the manipulative Shawn Spears, also getting ready for our main event. Who walks out tonight? NXT champion. There's been a lot of talk between these two women. Will Lola Vice Stark become the greatest crossover MMA athlete, or will Roxanne Perez knock down another contender and prove that there is no one on her level?
Women's champion, the prodigy, Roxanne Perez. I proved to everyone that there truly is levels to this, and no one in this world is on mine. Whoever you put in line for me, I'm always gonna find a way to win. Because there is not one woman that can take this title away from me.
We about to turn it up.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lola Vice!
The clock is ticking, Roxanne. A cada cual le llega su hora. Vice on top! Hammer fist after hammer fist! These fists don't lie.
I'm on the road now, showing no signs that I slow down. This is the moment it goes down. Yeah, this is the battle, the showdown.
I saw the way you were looking at my championship last week.
Yeah, I was. I'm gonna knock out every woman that gets in the way of me and this opportunity. Now you ready to bring this heat?
I ain't gonna stop until I am iconic.
And I've been watching your every move, Lola. Within a few months, you built a bigger name for yourself in NXT than you did in Bellator. We're not in the underground. This isn't an MMA fight, which means you're in my world. Ask Natalya, ask Jordan Grace, ask Lyra Valkyria why at 22 years old, I'm already a two-time NXT Women's Champion.
Roxanne, we all know your story. You used to take the bus to go to Bilkers. I was a fighter before I was even born. My mother was pregnant with me during her black belt test. I then went on and became a 4th-degree master in Taekwondo. And at 20, I was already fighting in Madison Square Garden. My mother will be watching me. And I can't wait to call her and tell her I did it por todos los sacrificios que tú has hecho para mí y mi hermana, mami.
Lola, every single woman in that locker room wants to make that same phone call. When you step inside the ring with me, those phone calls are never made. I'm not giving up my title, not to you, not to anybody in that damn locker room.
You don't have to give it to me, Roxanne. I'm gonna take it from you. And when I rip that title off your arm, I will become the first Cuban-American NXT Women's Champion.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
If you want to come get it.
It was Lola Vice who said earlier, she left the tears in Orlando, that this was the biggest fight of her career. Lola Vice is here to do one thing, knock out Roxanne Perez.
And that was the story of Lola Vice. And I'm gonna tell you right now, what a motivating factor. If anybody heard that story, if they're not heartfelt, they're not human. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, you can hear the reaction from the NXT universe here in Toronto, because Lola Vice put her heart out there. There's a side of Lola Vice we've never seen, we've never heard, and there's plenty of supporters here tonight that want her to make that phone call. But to do so, she's got to defeat Roxanne Perez. And both women believe that there's no one on their level, but this certainly is the ultimate showdown in the NXT Women's Division.
No, Roxanne Perez gave Lola Vice her flowers, man. She said she's one of the greatest at MMA, but this is professional wrestling. And now, you are in my world, the prodigy, Roxanne Perez's world.
We're here Money in the Bank weekend in Toronto, and you see the championship that is around the waist of Roxanne Perez. You go back 24 hours ago to the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Io Sky, Lyra Valkyria, and Tiffany Stratton, who we now call Miss Money in the Bank. You know what all three have in common except for that match last night? All three have been the NXT Women's Champion.
Nobody better than this one right here, though, Vic.
The following contest, scheduled for one fall, is for the NXT Women's Championship! Introducing the challenger, Lola Vice! And her opponent, she is the NXT Women's Champion, Roxanne Perez!
Both challenger and champion have fought to get to this very moment in time. Vice didn't take the traditional route like Perez, but both have a fan base. Both have their fan bases on the edge of their seats, all their supporters. Who will carry this division after tonight? And the issues between these two go back to February at Vengeance Day, when Lola failed to execute her breakout contract. It also cost Perez the championship on that night. Perez had to wait until the biggest stand and deliver of all time to regain her women's title.
And I got goosebumps right now, Vic, watching these two. Oh, wow. This is serious tonight, man.
Well, Perez right now showing no fear and trying to get into the head, trying to get into the mind of Lola Vice, maybe trying to frustrate the challenger who once become the greatest crossover MMA athlete of all time. Will Vice's greatness, though, come at the expense of Perez?
Hey, come on, you're talking about one of the best. Roxanne Perez, she started this when she was 16 years old, the youngest reality of wrestling champion in its history. And now looking to make more.
Hey, looking for the armbar! Looking for the armbar!
Whoa.
Shifting and a kick out in.
Roxanne Perez scouted that one right there. You can tell she's been working on that move. She's seen it coming.
Still trending #1 NXT Heat Wave here in Toronto, capping off Money in the Bank weekend. Nice takedown. This is what we talk about, the loyal fan bases both these women have, very vocal here in Toronto. But look at the knees. Look at the striking ability from Lola Vice. And she had a deep dig in Tuesday to Perez, but it was a fair question. Who's the real prodigy?
I mean, come on. I mean, take nothing away from Lola Vice. She's been competing since she was an itty-bitty girl. And she talked about being in Madison Square Garden. But like I said,
she was looking for that knockout, for that back fist.
There again, Roxanne Perez. She scouted it. That's why she's the prodigy, Vic.
Yeah,
she saw it coming.
Perez is about to be sent from Toronto back to Laredo with that back fist. And from the apron, Lola Vice wiping out the Perez. And look, we learned why Lola Vice is so determined when she fights. She fights for her family. She had to turn to fighting to help her sick mother. Her will to win is only matched by her mother's will to survive. And that fist would have connected. Lola Vice would have been calling her mom to tell her she was champion.
Oh, you see that right there? You see that? That right there is Roxanne Perez, one step ahead of Lola Vice. But like I said, Lola Vice, she's been very, very impressive. Breakout tournament winner 2023, beating Kalani Jordan. Tells me she's very, very experienced.
Well, you know, there's no doubt. You take a look at Roxanne Perez. It's hard to argue that Perez is not the most decorated woman ever in NXT. NXT Women's Tag Team Champion.
Keep going.
First ever breakout tournament winner.
Keep going.
Iron Survivor.
What else? What else?
3 women to be the NXT Women's Champion 2 times. But she's going in against someone who is so driven, who is so focused.
And determined.
Like
that's
Lola.
That's the question right there.
Covered by Perez, hook of the leg, and Vice able to kick out. In this NXT universe right now, they are getting very loud.
That's what it is. Whoa.
They are split between these 2 women, and one of these 2 women will walk out with the title. One of them will walk out leading this division. And look at Lola Vice. Vice right now, right after another, just beating down, wearing down the NXT Women's Champion. And it's Vice who's looking for the knockout into the cover. Shoulders down and a half second away. Vice looking for another strike, and ripping at the hair was Perez. And I will say this also about Roxanne Perez. She defended this brand in an unprecedented match at Battleground. And listening to the official, breaking the rules, not breaking them, I should say, bending them to work towards her favor.
You know, Roxanne Perez has stepped up her game since she's started thinking about one thing, me, winning the championship back, getting that championship back that she never lost. And right now, Perez, we talk about it being on another level, man. Here we go. Well, beautiful work.
Russian leg sweep, float over, cover, title on the line, challenger kicking out, and both have gotten the better of each other at times. But as Vice put it, when Perez was dropped, she woke up without her title.
Yeah, you're talking about old stuff right now. Roxanne Perez, no wasted motion. She's looking beautiful here tonight.
It's also something to note right now, Brooke, for Roxanne Perez. She is keeping Lola Vice grounded. You talk to Perez and you hear her talking to the media. She had been working on her counter strikes because she knows the dangers of Lola Vice in that back fist. But the champion so far has not abandoned what brought her to the dance, but she has been very mindful of Lola.
No, take nothing away from Lola Vice, but this is truly Roxanne Perez's world. Like I say, since she was 16 years old, she has been working on her craft.
Shoulders down one more time.
Beautiful work by Roxanne.
But look how quick Vice was able to pop right back up, and she pops up, she squares up, she centers herself, and these are those quick feet, these are those strikes.
Yeah! What I'm talking about right here, you don't want to waste any time like this right here with Roxanne Perez.
And as impressive as Perez has been in the last year, you have to agree that Lola Vice in the last 3 or 4 months has been equally impressive. She has certainly changed things around since February, into the back, into the cover, and Perez able to get that right shoulder just off the mat.
Lola Vice has that winning mentality, Vince. It's not about friends or anything like that. It's about winning on a regular basis. Whoa, so close, so close.
Perez was 1 second away from winning there, but going right back to the body, and take a look at how fast Perez buckled, how fast she fell from one punch to the gut.
You don't talk about those fast hands for no reason. Oh, got caught with a shot.
Vice says her fists don't lie. And Perez right now, got caught, went for that uppercut. It could be going to sleep. Able to use a little bit of momentum, rolling through, shoulders down. And Vice having to relinquish the hold to continue this matchup as Perez charging back in, trying to counter, and she got caught. She's trapped now, boy. Perez is trapped. Body scissors cinched in.
Roxanne,
squeeze it away.
Beautiful, beautiful right there. Referee, do your damn job. Do your damn job, ref.
And Perez talked about the underground. This isn't like Vegas. This isn't just trying to knock out or put someone to sleep. This is a traditional matchup. And that is what Roxanne... Oh! No, 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 no. What she's doing, Ref, is taking advantage of the situation, just like you would want her to.
Let me tell you something. Look here, it's no love lost here or anything. It's about holding on to your championship. It's not about playing games or being nice in this situation. Do what you do. Oh, yes, man.
But I try to get a look at Lola Vice's face. She is in obvious pain for obvious reasons. As into the cover, back to the live action, retain the title. Vice able to kick out.
A lot of anguish, Vic, as well as she's in dire straits right now. Roxanne Perez laying it on and laying it on thick.
But think about this again, Booker. It was Lola Vice who went for that back fist. She missed, but now is the best part of Lola Vice's game being systematically dissected from her playbook is into another cover, into a kick out.
I tell you what, we're gonna find out.
She might have a broken hand or a broken wrist.
We're gonna find out here real quick how tough she really is. She talked about being a competitor since she was a little girl. Now she can compete at the highest level with the best in NXT, Roxanne Perez.
I asked you earlier today, would Perez try to target the inexperience of Lola Vice? And I wouldn't say that that was inexperience that cost Vice, but right now, Roxanne Perez, the veteran, who's been around, who is under your tutelage, knows exactly what to do. There's a bullseye on the body, take advantage of it, and at the same time, you're taking out the best ability for Lola Vice to win, that back fist, and Lola Vice knows it.
Still got feet though, Vic, she still got those quick feet. Whoa!
There's that foot again, and trying to swing, and there just wasn't a lot on that right hand. Perez trying to take down Lola Vice, and if you think about it too, think about that cross-face submission that Roxanne Perez has, that she's been utilizing. Nice belly-to-back suplex, turning the challenger inside out, and the challenger is in trouble.
You know, I don't think it's the inexperience of Lola Vice. I think it's just a ring generalship of this young lady right here, Roxanne Perez, two-time women's champion. That's what it is, man. Whoa!
Well, took a chance, and now, again, trying to lock it. Is that a triangle? She's trying to lock it. She's only got one arm, Book. And shifting the weight, shoulders down one more time. And again, just with one arm for Lola Vice. And back fist got caught from Perez. Lola able to catch it and delivered one. She finally was able to connect. Knocked Perez out all the way to the floor, but quickly, look at Lola. She went right to that injured arm.
Yes, I mean, she still used it, but I don't know if she got all of it.
Think about this too, Book. If that hand's broke, if that wrist is broke, if she can fight through that pain, she won't even feel it. It'll be like, you said a sledgehammer earlier. Lola Vice will have a sledgehammer. She won't feel it.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the pain is obviously unbearable, Vic. She's favoring it like, whoa, 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 whoa.
That goes back to being a ring general. Perez so close to that bottom rope. Didn't even have to use any energy, just put her foot up, but there was that back fist.
Yeah, but
and even at 70%, it knocked Perez all the way out.
Yeah, but look at the pain and the anguish in Lola Vice's eyes, Vic. You can tell. You can tell.
Lola Vice can't do the simplest thing as even push her body up. She can't put any weight on that right arm, and now she's having to fight with her left hand. She's only got one arm in this matchup. And right back to the injury goes Perez. Oh, no, Booker!
Wow.
You have told me this is a different side of Perez, but there's even something more evil coming out of the women's champion tonight.
Roxanne, not only did she just, take out the hand, now she's looking to take out that shoulder and finish this thing and finish it in quick. Whoa!
She was looking for pop rocks, it was countered, and she didn't go for the back fist, but you said the feet still work. They certainly do.
Educated feet, Vic.
Turning right around, and those strikes are just as effective. And Lola letting Roxanne think about it. Perez pleading her case, looking for that knockout, blocked again. Perez into pop rocks, and just like that.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me.
Perez can't believe it. You said we would find out a lot about Lola Vice. We certainly are, Booker, right here and right now.
Toughness, tenacity, all of that we're going to find out here tonight.
Man, Rox. This is a lot of frustration boiling out of Roxanne.
It's a different Roxanne Perez, Vic. This is different, man.
Booker. Perez looking for Pop Rocks. The table didn't even break.
Be smart.
Our official
Be
doesn't want
smart.
to count this match out.
Be smart, Roxanne. Be smart here.
Perez getting Vice back in. Into the cover off the second Pop Rocks, and it didn't do it. It didn't do it, Book. This is what happens when you're fighting for your family. But look at Perez. She went for the crossface, and wisely, she realized the injured arm, and she's going to the crossface on that injured shoulder, on that right arm, trying to break the will, break the spirit of the
She's
tap.
gonna make her tap.
Lola gonna tap. She's got to think about her mom. She's got to think about her family. That bottom rope is so damn close.
But so far away. But so far away, Vic. So far away.
Hey, look at Perez. Perez rolling right back through, right back up.
Beautiful.
Not to be outdone for the fourth time. And Perez said, forget four, add one more. Looking for the fifth.
Man.
There is your winner and still the NXT Women's Champion, Roxanne Perez.
Go ahead, Vic. Go ahead with your diatribe. Go ahead and talk about how good Roxanne Perez is. Go ahead and say to the world, she is truly the prodigy, Vic. Go ahead and tell it like it is. I know you want to say it. Do it. Do it now. Do it, Vic.
I don't need to, you just did, but yes, Roxanne Perez. She brought a fight, but so did Lola Vice. And this was the first Pop Rocks in this matchup. But Lola Vice would not stay down. Roxanne came right out here in front of us. She damaged the injured arm. Throughout this matchup, she focused on the body part that would do the most damage, that back fist. That was three, there was a fourth, but this was an unprecedented big Pop Rocks in this matchup to finally put away Lola Vice and retain the NXT Women's Championship.
That didn't feel too bad, did it?
I've never taken anything away from Roxanne Perez. I take nothing away from the challenger here tonight. But who can get on the level of our NXT Women's Champion, the prodigy, Roxanne Perez?
Another 4th of July, Independence Day, to celebrate my heritage, American heritage. Rock and roll, brother. Motley Crue, Metallica, real music. Not that beat boot robot bullcrap that you listen to, Eddie Thorpe. Some real heritage. And speaking of heritage, you know who's got a lot of heritage on the line? Is that Tony D'Angelo. And Lexis King is going to take it and claim it for his own this Tuesday on NXT, because it's going to be the King versus the Don for the Heritage Cup.
That's good. So I was in my garden this morning, watering all my fruits and vegetables and basil. And I get a call from my consigliere, Luca Crucifino. And he says, hey, Don, watch this video. I look at the video, and it's Lexis King talking about this romance with him and Annie Thorpe. I don't know. And then he starts talking about me. Talking about taking away my Italian Heritage Cup. And he's talking about this like it's gonna be easy. Lexis, I don't know who you think you are. I don't know what you've been watching, but I'm the Don of NXT. And if you think this is just gonna be a walk in the park, I'm insulted. So, you want a match on Tuesday? Sure. Ava, set it up. Because when I get in that ring, I'm gonna smack that fake-ass beard right off of your face. You understand me? And then I'm gonna come right back to my garden and water my basil plant.
Well, as you just heard, the challenge was thrown out, and it was accepted. It'll be the Don versus the King for the NXT Heritage Cup. It's going down live this Tuesday on NXT. Also on Tuesday, Partners No More. Who will prove to be better? They were victorious on Countdown to Heatwave together, but only one will win when Petrovic beats Grace on NXT this Tuesday on USA. Speaking of tag team competition, there's 2 more tag team matches that will take place. Both heated rivalries that need to be settled, and they will be come Tuesday on NXT. And after what happened to start the night, the question is, what is next for Wes Lee? The Cardiac Kid will address the NXT Universe live on Tuesday. But right now the question is, who will be champion in 48 hours? The odds are in favor of the challengers. Trick Williams does not need to be factored in the decision to lose his title. Can Trick overcome the odds in this massive main event?
I talked about this. I dreamt about this. We all wanted this. Trick Williams is your new NXT champion.
This is a new era led by Trick Williams.
We're gonna call this the That era.
Trick Williams, champ. The next challenger for your championship will be decided in a 25-man over-the-top battle royal.
Who's headed to the NXT Championship match?
Yo, this is crazy.
The Young OG, riding the wave of momentum. Evans is going to Heatwave.
I've never even left the country before. I had to go get a passport for this. This is me and you for that title, my boy. Come on now, Heatwave.
Wrong.
Bro.
I'm still in the Battle Royal. It's still happening right now. I was never eliminated. Onside Oro going right underneath the page. He hated on the Young OG for winning that Battle Royal. Said it's null, it's void, it doesn't count. Ethan Page has defeated the #1 contender.
Now we're back on track.
We got a new #1 contender. The way I see it.
I am coming for that NXT title. I've been building a reputation for a long time around the world. And now, I'm exactly where I need to be.
I was the guy who pinned Javon first.
Shawn Spears called his shot.
I already put down Javon Evans, and I was the first man to pin Trick Williams since he became champion.
An absolutely stunned NXT Universe.
Spears just beat the NXT champion.
Javon won the Battle Royal.
But Ethan beat Javon.
All right. Here's what I'm gonna do. Everyone has compelling cases. So, Heatwave, NXT Championship, Fatal 4-Way.
A Fatal 4-Way match where anything can happen. It's my biggest test yet. 3 challenges. The Young OG.
Everybody's gonna know that boys. It's all love, but you know I'm coming after him.
Goofy ass Spears.
It happens. Toronto, Canada. I will reach the pinnacle.
And all talk Ethan Page.
There's only room for one of us to be the guy. And that's all ego, baby.
My back has always been against the wall. But when it comes to this NXT title, I come through every single time.
The only thing that will happen is I'm retaining my NXT title. Toronto, you already know what we gonna do.
Your boy is bouncy.
Well, Booker, you can understand the nerves. This, the first premium live event for Javon Evans. 3 months, Booker. 3 months since his debut, and he's in the main event of that premium live event.
I know exactly how this young man feels. I remember my first PLE War games. I remember it vividly. I had nothing to lose, but everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything to win. So I know what this young man is feeling right now, Vic.
This is not a normal matchup for the NXT title. No disqualification or count out. Every man for himself. Trick Williams does not need to be factored in the decision to lose his title.
Truth will ultimately prevail. But there is pain bringing it to light.
Shawn Spears has never held a title in NXT. He returned several months ago. Now he returns home. How does the chase for gold, Booker, fuel a competitor like Shawn Spears?
So he's never won the NXT Championship, right? Right. That's just a testament to this man's will and determination, the diabolical, but yet driven. Still, Shawn Spears could be his night. This could be his night, Vic. Spears could be it.
Spears is someone who tries to talk and manipulate with his words, but there is one thing that he said that no one can take away from him. He was the first to pin Trick since Williams became champion.
Definitely has a case. The first to pin this young man standing across from him as well. Javon Evans.
And if he pins Javon Evans, Trick Williams loses his title.
Be the champ.
Well, this is a man who talks about his reputation. This is a man who is so egotistical, he created his own company here in Toronto, Alpha One, so he could become a champion. And it's a man who returns home and, again, filling his ego.
Vic, I gotta say it. It's something about this guy right here. All ego, Ethan Page. Will he walk away tonight? And the new NXT champion, El Gran Campeon.
It's been nearly a decade since the NXT title was defended under these rules on a premium live event. 2021, the last time the NXT title was defended in a fatal four-way.
What? Yeah! Uh-huh. I like it. Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah, man. That's Trick. That's the champ right there, Victor. Uh-huh. I like it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Check out the tights. Check out the tights. Oh, a little Hall of Heat action.
Booker, it's been an incredible journey and story, but he knows that the odds are against him. During his media scrum this week, this is a quote from Trick Williams. "These are the moments when I shine to show what I'm made of." The time is now. Fatal four-way for the NXT Championship.
Give it up for him. He rose up out the shadows, Vic, and now he's the the NXT champion. The odds are against him. But now we're gonna get a chance to see what Trick Williams is truly all about.
The following contest is a fatal four-way match for the NXT Championship! Introducing the challengers. First, Javon Evans. Next, Shawn Spears. And last, All Ego, Ethan Page. And their opponent, he is the NXT Champion, Trick Williams.
25% chance Trick survives. All about.
You know, if I can give Mike Roma a little advice, it's the reigning and defending Trick Williams.
Now you want to be a ringer?
I'm just saying. Give him his props.
All four
give
of
him
these
his
men
props.
starting to circle each other. Talked about just 3 months ago. Of course Ethan Page just wants to take the easy road, wants everyone else to do the fighting. For Javon Evans! I was just about to say, for Evans, we talked about 3 months ago, debuting now to the main event. It's even crazier to think that he turned 20 years old just 2 months ago.
Yeah, as well as he's in the ring with, somewhat of a mentor, somebody he looks up to, Trick Williams. How that's going to play out here in this matchup, I'm wondering, Vic.
Well, look at Trick Williams now. He's got to keep his emotions in check. Both he and Javon Evans have been called out by Ethan Page and by Shawn Spears for letting their emotions get the better of them.
No, man. Big shot there right in front of us by, All Ego.
Get no count out, no disqualification. Everything is legal. Only way to win pinfall submission in the ring.
You can do better than that.
And now what is it? What sort of competition is this? Every man for himself.
One-upsmanship, Vic. Come on.
You think I give a rat's ass about these people, son?
Yeah, finally, let's go. Let's see these two swing.
You don't see nobody running, do you?
I see a lot of talking. Page, Spears. And for Shawn Spears, if he can become champion, I can't imagine what he would say. Both men, same idea. Cut corners. Exactly. Neither of them want to get in the ring and throw hands.
Don't trust anybody. You can't trust. I like the idea.
What you're saying,
it was
I
great.
get it.
It's a great move, great strategy.
Let Spears take it down, Williams. And there comes Javon Evans getting bouncy as Williams catapulted into a neck breaker.
Talking about working together right now.
And this is a moment for Javon Evans. One he's dreamed about since his grandmother introduced him to wrestling. He had a picture of his grandmother in his locker today. He said he feels her spirit with him tonight as he's getting ready for this championship matchup. As he's getting ready for this main event, his first premium live event, and into the cover, shoulders down, and a quick kick out by Williams. And that boy getting bouncy one more time. Flying in, another kick out by Trick.
But I haven't spoken about it yet. He has a chance to become the youngest NXT champion in the history. How big is that, Vic?
It's huge. And whoa! Is off the charts. Is the young OG living up to the hype as he rolls back through, shoulders down, and he just kicked out.
Championship, he won't be the young OG, he'd be the OG of NXT.
Evans let Trick know I was this close And since the night began, still trending #1, NXT Heatwave, and this is our main event. A matchup where Trick Williams, the champion, who just took down Evans, doesn't need to be factored in the decision to lose his title. Big body slam by Trick, and the champion now is rolling.
That's called getting bouncy right there, Vic.
Now, I wanted to ask you this as we're getting ready, but the action in this match has been so back and forth. You know, is Trick going to have to play more defense than normal tonight?
Trick has a 25% chance of winning this match. He has to have eyes in the back of his head, just like, here we go, here we go.
The steel chair.
Exactly what I'm talking about.
It's all legal. That's one way to even the odds. If you're Trick Williams, a couple sidekicks.
Beautiful sidekicks. I've seen that. I've seen that before.
When Trick proved he was no longer a sidekick when he beat Carmelo Hayes, had the biggest stand in Liverpool of all time, then became champion. And he's here tonight, hitting everything that moves, taking down everybody, all three competitors, all three challengers, and Trick 2 for 1.
I'm loving it. Trick looks very composed here tonight in this matchup, Vic. Oh!
Trick was just able to get out of the way, and Trick Williams.
Right comes. There it is. Let's go home. Let's go home. Oh, man.
Able to kick out.
Put a little more pressure, a little more sauce on that little Cholula green next time, son.
I got to agree with something you said. Trick Williams, he doesn't give a damn about the stats. He doesn't give a damn about the numbers. He has come out determined. There's been a different look in the eye of the champion tonight because of the odds that are against him.
Like I say, we're going to find out a whole lot about Trick Williams tonight as far as his tenacity, his intestinal fortitude to match up in a match like this. Here we go!
Get another 2 for 1 for Ethan Page, and Cody Rhodes, our WWE champion, made the battle royal to determine the #1 contender, and it was Javon Evans, not Ethan Page, who won. It was Page who protested, then defeated Evans, and it was a bunch of chaos that led to this matchup. But as we're sitting here, Ava made a hell of a decision for our main event.
None of that matters because right now Ethan Page is in a matchup. For the NXT Championship, he has a 25% chance just like everybody else.
Take off.
Oh, man.
Big power slam by Page into the cover, hook the leg, and Evans right shoulder up. Ethan Page right now is the one standing, and this is at the type of pace that Page likes. Slow and methodical.
It's something about this kid, Ethan Page. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it's like the wind. You can feel it, but you can't touch it, but you know it's there. That's Ethan Page.
Oh, well, that was Shawn Spears, who's not interested in the past. He's looking towards the future, and when you hear him speak, he certainly knows how to spin the narrative as he's trying to capture the NXT title, but now Javon Evans getting into the fray. Evans.
Oh, wait a minute.
Well, look at this. Evans is up. Spears is caught. Page is flying. Unlikely allies. Bodies are
double pin, double pin, double pin.
And both superstars, I mean, what would have happened with a double pin?
I don't know. I can't answer that.
Referee's discretion, as you see. Those here in the Scotia Bank Arena have been loud. They've been on their feet all night long. This our main event, and it almost ended with that double pin. It looks like we're revisiting Las Vegas, book. Ethan Page, who came into this company unsigned, attacking Noam Dar, then took out Trick Williams. Williams hasn't forgotten.
Ow!
What the hell?
It's legal.
It is legal.
It's legal, Vic.
Oh, damn it, Shawn Spears swinging for the fences. Spears said this week on the past, failure will never overtake someone if their determination to succeed is strong enough. And now what the hell is going through the diabolical mind of Shawn Spears? Trick Williams, I necessarily would say he'd be saving Javon Evans, but there's every man for themselves.
Big shot by Trick Williams, but opportunity.
And now it's
opportunity.
Perched
oh, yes.
C4 into into the chair, into the corner. Spears crawls into the cover, and Williams just got that right shoulder up.
Close right there. Williams saw his title going out the window.
Hey, did you hear that? Did you feel that? Shawn Spears so close to holding a championship he has so desperately wanted to hold.
Shawn Spears is going for broke right now, Vic. You can feel it, you can sense it, and he's so close. So close, Vic.
Looking for one more time. Evans able to pop right back up. Nice super kick, and again, all four of these men in this matchup, in this main event. But it's Javon Evans, the youngest of them all.
He's quick.
20 years.
Oh!
No matter how damn quick you are, that'll stop anybody. But look at the bodies that are laid out.
Yeah.
It's all for the NXT Championship. And someone believes they are the champion. But of these four men, who will get to their feet first? You hear the NXT Universe?
Yes.
What a weekend it has been in Toronto.
Who's going to get that second win?
What a matchup this has been. And Trick.
We go again.
You said it. You said it. There's no disqualifications. It's all legal. Oh, Page doing his best.
Taste the cold steel, Vic.
I'm sure it did taste very good. But take another look. Ethan Page looking for that ego's edge. Trick knew it. And oh! Well, how do you think that tasted and felt, Book?
You all ego right. Take this with you.
Page is tough.
Oh!
Evans! Holy through the...
What the?
Holy...
You got to be kidding me.
I'm glad they're saying it. Javon Evans. How far did he jump?
Wow.
And look, I just looked at Evans. Evans didn't want to do that to Trick Williams. Evans didn't want to do that to his friend. But Javon Evans wants to be the damn champion. At 20 years old, Evans is getting back into the ring. He's got Spears in a precarious position. Spears up to the top. Evans is going to join him. Evans right now. Evans got caught.
He's caught.
And Spears with a C4, looking for the 3. Page into the cover.
You gotta be kidding.
Steal. Evans able to kill. Woo-wee. I can't believe what we are seeing from these four.
Ethan Page almost capitalized, Vic. He was so close.
Ethan Page just wants to feed his own ego. And he's enjoying every second of this. Williams hasn't moved since going through the barricade.
I think that's what it's about right now for Ethan Page. It's about the NXT Championship.
You're right, Book, it is.
Not about ego.
Page is up. And so Shawn Spears. This is the main event of NXT Heatwave. NXT Championship on the line. Fatal 4-way. All 3 challengers in the ring, and finally the champion is back to his feet. And he's trying to make one hell of an impact. No! Nasty spill to the outside.
Gnarly spill.
Talk about gnarly. From the top.
Young OG about to capitalize.
He's bouncing all over.
That's it.
Bank Arena.
We got a new champ.
Connor.
We got a new champ.
Oh, man. Trick just saved his title. You just saved it, Trick. That was so close.
Unbelievable.
Bam. And by the time Page got to his feet, he didn't know what the hell hit him. And now look who it's come down to. what you gotta do until you get what you came for. Trick Williams is fighting for his title. Evans is fighting for his future. Fighting for history. Oh, nice kick by Williams. Evans answering right back.
Beautiful work.
Pump kick didn't connect. Evans got caught. Both men with the same mindset.
What a matchup here tonight.
What a main event. And Javon Evans is looking at us.
Look at the eyes.
Javon Evans
Look at the eyes of the
is
young
looking
man.
at us, Booker.
Look at the eyes, Vic.
Javon Evans, oh. Well, he had some intentions in his mind. Trick Williams right out here in front of us. And Shawn Spears somehow back to his, what the? What's Spears thinking?
He's thinking about something.
We talk about risks. This is quite the risk from Shawn Spears.
He's not gonna do it.
He's not gonna do this.
He's thinking about it.
This might take Spears out of the match. The tension building here in Toronto.
Just goes to show you what that title means to these men, Vic. Oh, I don't like this at all.
Remember, it was Spears who called out Evans for his age.
Wow.
Age is just a number when you can do things that Evans can do.
Wow. Look at recovery there.
Cover.
Beautiful.
And again playing defense is Trick Williams.
He's going to have eyes in the back of his head
He
tonight.
doesn't have to be factored, Book. This is why I asked you earlier. Is he going to be on the defense more than being on the offense? Oh. Book, Trick didn't have a choice. Yeah, that's his friend. But now, the mathematical odds we've been talking about have just increased for the champion.
Just broke that kid in half right there. He had to do it.
And look at Trick. Trick's trying to fire himself back up. Trick's trying to refocus. Trick right now with Shawn Spears in his sights. Spears just took a half step backwards.
This is it.
To lock in the sharpshooter. And somewhere Bret Hart is smiling. Can Shawn Spears get Trick Williams to tap to the sharpshooter in Canada? Ethan Page, though, gonna break up all that real quick. But Ethan Page, is it gonna pay off for Page?
Trying to capitalize, Big. He's trying to capitalize. Oh, that could be it.
Ego's edge. Got all of it. Cover. And there's Javon Evans breaking up the count. I don't know how the hell Evans is even moving.
Wow.
We talked about Evans and the rib injury he sustained several weeks ago. That certainly has had to have gotten re-aggravated after bouncing off the table. And right now, Ethan Page is pissed off. Ethan Page is angry. Ethan Page's mean streak is coming out.
He's losing his cool, Vic. I don't like that.
And remember, it was Ethan Page who was talking about Trick and Javon needing to keep their emotions in check. And one more time, another's Ego's edge, and whoosh, Spears saving things for a moment. And, oh! Trick shot! Trick shot wiped out Evans! Trick shot to Page! Trick, we don't know!
Oh, what the?
What? What the hell?
Here's your winner and the new NXT champion! Wow!
What the hell?
Did I tell you? There's something about it.
Trick Williams, right here in front of us, is pissed. Trick Williams is beside himself right now, and rightfully so. I'm just as stunned as the rest of the NXT universe. We talked about this matchup. All four men proved why they were in it. Javon Evans went for broke. He was able to stay in this matchup. He risked it all, Booker. At 20 years old, the future is bright, no doubt about it. When you're able to pull off feats of athleticism like this man is the innovator of aerial insanity. He was this close to becoming champion, but it was Trick Williams who was playing defense all night long. He knew what the odds were. He had to do things he didn't want to do. And right here, the ego's at tip for Ethan Page. Trick Williams got some help from his boy to continue this matchup, to keep it going. But for Trick Williams, the trick shot connected. It wiped out Evans. He hit another one on Ethan Page, who fell into the cover, spears from behind, and Trick Williams just couldn't get to break up the cover. And it's not like Shawn Spears wanted Trick to lose. It's just what the hell happened. Williams is heartbroken right now. Trick Williams is beside himself right now. Shawn Spears is defeated. And I can only imagine the ego now with Ethan Page. Because that is the new face right there of